just babysitting.
Like chopper bar and all that stuff. And then they were about to share, and then he was like, I'm one of the judges. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, Rahman, bro.
Have you not been good friend?
Look, did you go?
Thank God, bro. Let's go. Your audio's working. Go, dude. Glad we could get that much working. Do any of you guys have your backpack per chance? That's clear. And you guys have your backpack like here? Okay, no, that's true.
What do you need it for? Wait, what did you need the backpack for?
I'm gonna put my laptop on the head. Okay, last stream is working, thank God. Zoom a little bit.
I mean, I guess it's more like.
I didn't hear this going.
Well, that also like that could just be one factor out of it. Probably. We would have to somebody if we get something.
Maybe. I mean, how many steps have you already clocked in?
I don't know, I'll have to check once we stop live.
That's the intention.
It's not even. It's global. It's global.
It's not even 12 yet.
It's global.
W.
The cricket, I can see
It's a
it's
bad.
strictly Indian, but
It's a
chess
bad.
is global.
That's fine.
How many steps do we hear? Do you think we hear has already?
They probably have like 10,000 already.
Over or under 12,000?
Probably under. I feel like it's 10,000.
Actually, yes.
I don't think it's quite there yet.
Your girlfriend's not.
Why do you? Okay.
Listen, mi casa es tu casa. The other two casas, mi casa. Mi casa es my
You know what the issue was? I had like the orientation meeting. Yeah, that's kind of dumb.
Such a weird
No, at least you got iPhone. You're gonna try to apply to AIM next
No, it's not. It's like a good iPhone. It's just a small one. I think it's like one of the new ones, bro.
I mean, I did robotics.
You guys want to say hi? It's live streaming.
But yeah, because then
Nobody
like
pays
in
attention
north
to my
side, they
shirts
have
'cause I
heavy
never wear
bags, so
anything
just box there. Sometimes I get access to like sparring partners randomly.
You know what? I'm gonna move this out of the way for now. Wait, can't take this. Oh. I'm moving out of the way, like until this gets good, and I'll bring you back.
Okay.
After the screen.
My boundaries. It's my boundaries. Hi everyone, we're going to be making this shortly. We're going to let everyone filter in and then we'll get started.
I think we also just leave it here the whole time. Oh, you were there. You guys excited? Yeah. I'm exhausted.
It's like, I think it's like what they do. It's like they like.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
You're a good person,
We
Ken.
got the front row, front
I want to
section.
go home. I don't want to go to the
We're still in the hall. We're still good. We're still good. Alright, good luck, bro.
That's burger.
Burger and veggie. No, they have chicken sandwich. What burger? That's good. It's a good burger spot. It looks like shit out of it. That's different. Someone has a shirt. Wait, someone has a shirt. Someone has a I'd fight him. If it was weapon, if it was Look at the on-campus versus the
That was complicated.
I'm just gonna keep it in that corner. I don't think we have to keep it like in the middle. I think there should be fine. Corner. Then we don't have to keep it.
You're not gonna eating? I have this monitor.
I wasn't gonna say anything. If anything, you just come up with like a fucking leprechaun. Oh my god, this is amazing.
That Instagram live.
I don't want to speak to myself, like by myself, but at the same time, I don't want to speak. I don't want to. I guess it's more chairs over there. I don't know. There's like one seat over there. I don't know if they're gonna stop. Right here. Yeah, I don't know if it's on this. You got it. Yeah, we can also.
My job's at 11. I finished my job. My next job's at 11.
Where are you at?
Now, what is happening?
The thing is, I'm like, oh, I can do this. I'll do it. I got it. CDAIS. You have to turn off. What, live streaming?
Like everything.
We're live streaming right now.
I'll go now. Let's do one song. Well, close the door. One song.
Kick off live stream. like an academy.
Are you recording stuff on that too?
Yeah. No, no. Ajay, where are you sitting? No, because like all the seats are like. But it's next to 40? Okay. Where's 40? It's in Becky, yo. There's two. Oh, and 40 on them. Is that right? Okay. And 40, it's 40. But no, 40 candidates is like some money guys. It is 40. It's Christmas. He brought it last time. But he used that thing. I'm not going to pay you. No, he didn't bring it. He brought it. And then he gave it to me. He gave it to me. No, I'm self-isolating. I think it's probably the closest. Oh, we got 10 viewers.
Sitting in the back.
Well, look, I'll take you back. Frame, Hamzy, you want to come sit in the back with us?
Yeah.
Wait, who's gonna man this? I'll just like watch it for you. Yeah, our stuff is gonna be. Wait, I'm trying to think, because I don't want like someone to take this seat.
You want one of us?
No, it's go. We'll just put our stuff. Put your laptop there. I'm gonna take my laptop for a bit.
You more wait for the line?
Yeah.
Oh. Surely someone doesn't walk in. There should be more than enough.
That should be good. All right. I think it should be good.
At least people.
We don't have to like move it around.
Did you see someone on the Discord said turn on chat?
Turn on chat?
Someone said on the Discord said turn on chat on the live stream.
It's literally turned on. Wait, why?
Wait, really? I thought you turned it off.
Did I not? Wait, why? Okay, where did they say, Oh, no, wait, there's a live stream.
Wait, where did that? I thought there was some.
And they maybe deleted it. Wait, I thought I moved it. Okay. I'm gonna go sit in the back. Where are you sitting at? So you're taking photos.
Okay, thank you guys for being here. Who's ready for HackAI 2026? Very happy to hear that you guys are excited about HackAI just as much as I am. My name is Anita. I'm the president of the Artificial Intelligence Society, and AIS is a group that's responsible for hosting HackAIs. We're excited to spend the weekend with you, but not for long. So a little bit about AIS. We are an organization that aims to demystify AI through providing a more and more. And one of the things that we do, we try to do every single year, is HackAI. So this is going to be our biggest event of the semester of the year. We spend the entire year planning towards HackAI, and so we're doing our best to put this on for you guys. So hopefully you guys get the most out of this weekend. But yeah, our events are designed to teach people the technical and industry applications of artificial intelligence, and you know that sometimes with AI can be a little confusing how it works, what it does, with all of the different LLMs that are coming out. Like, we know that there's a lot of information, so our goal is to help you guys learn how AI works and what it does, and how you can use it in your day-to-day lives. So as I mentioned, this is part of our team. These are our 15 directors. We started with 12 this semester, but our team keeps growing very, very quickly. But aside from our directors, we also have our officers. So officers and directors, raise your hands. If y'all look around, there's a few of us. But our officers are wearing shirts that say Artificial Intelligence Society, and the back says Demystify AI. And our directors are wearing corduroys. So if you guys see anybody with these name tags and you have questions, you're welcome to ask us. But also please keep in mind, we're doing our best to put this event on for you guys and try to make this go as smoothly as possible. So please be patient with us. Yeah. So a little bit more about HackAI. I'm sure you guys have an understanding of what HackAI is and how it works, which is why you're here. But HackAI is a 24-hour student-run AI hackathon where our goal for you guys is to hopefully take an idea and make it into something by the end of this weekend. If you're unable to do that on your own, that's totally okay. We have a variety of different workshops and mentorship and hands-on building opportunities for you guys to hopefully learn more as you go throughout this weekend. If you're unable to come out of this weekend with a working demo, that's totally okay. If you learned something from this weekend, you definitely got what you needed out of this event, and that's what we wanted for you guys. And as well, make sure to have fun and make sure you're taking advantage of our food and merch opportunities and meeting new people as you spend the weekend building. So obviously, HackAI cannot happen without our amazing sponsors, so let's give a round of applause to sponsors have contributed to HackAI through a variety of different options. So challenge tracks, as well as donations, and as well as free energy drinks. So Red Bull for the entire weekend for you guys. So make sure to keep your eye out for that and interact with the sponsor when you get the opportunity to, because it's a rare opportunity that you guys will be able to interact with so many people at once. And then the last thing for me is, this year, this is the third year we're putting HackAI on, and we wanted a little bit more structure going into this event, and so we decided to reach out to the page and try to do a partnership with Major League Hacking. If you aren't familiar with Major League Hacking, they are the organization that essentially helps support all major hackathons across the world, actually. So this year we are an official MLH partnership, and through the MLH partnership, we hope to have a little bit more structure, throughout the course of this weekend, as well as more opportunities for you guys to be engaged and interacting with new technologies. So MLH will have a chance to speak about them a little bit later, but I'm going to hand it off to the one and only Hamas.
All right, thank you everyone. Now I know y'all are excited for the hackathon, but who here is excited for the food? Quickly before I get into that, a brief introduction. My name is Hamas, and I'm the director of the AI Mentorship Program, or AIM. And just to ask a brief question, who here has been or is a part of AIM? All right, quite a few people here, a lot of faces I recognize. Ayan there, Ugana right there, lots of y'all, great to see y'all. All right, I'm here to talk about something that you guys may have been thinking about, which is Ramadan. A lot of y'all are fasting for Ramadan right now. I am too, and so y'all are probably wondering what the food arrangements are going to be like. And we're fortunate that we were able to make arrangements. We have iftar dinner at 6:30. That's for everyone, not just for people fasting. So everyone's going to have dinner at 6:30. And then we have two arrangements for breakfast. We have the sahur breakfast, which is available at 5:30, and then we have the regular breakfast, which is available at 10. So those are the main arrangements we have. And now I'm going to pass it off to the one and only Herbert Ronaldo Melgar.
Alright, thank you, Hamas. My name is Herbert. I am the Secretary of AIS, and I just wanted to introduce to y'all, we have a very special event coming up later today. Before I start, who here likes music? Raise your hand, just music in general. Alright, perfect. I love all of it. So we are blessed to be able to host our own in-house concert today. They are an up-and-coming band. They are called the New Hires. They're incredibly talented, incredibly passionate, and incredibly grateful to be here. They're going to be performing today at 7, so about 30 minutes into dinner. If you guys want a break, or if you want to take time to eat your food, they will be in the bird's nest, which is right above the atrium in the CS West. They have about a 30 to 40 minute set list, and those are the songs right there. And if you want to follow them on Instagram, their Instagram is on that QR code. But yeah, I really love to see y'all there. They're really excited. We're all really excited. They're really good. Love to see y'all there. Anyways, I'm now going to pass this mic off to our incredible keynote speaker. He is the CEO of Deepin AI, where they're seeking to power safe, real-world AI systems. Without further ado, give a round of applause for Mr. Mohammed Musa.
Great to be here. You guys did a great job assembling this great team. So, who here built their own AI agent? Anybody? Okay, we have a few hands. Have anybody looked at Notebook in here? Okay, not a lot. Good, so I started with Notebook because it created kind of this viral wave. It was a social network for AI agents where there was a lot of hype. Essentially, you give your agent a list of skills and you go and tell it to go and network with other agents. So humans are not allowed to post on that Notebook. It's like a Facebook for agents. Anyway, what happened there was a lot of kind of manufactured hype that's not real AI. And I started with this because there's a lot of noise in the industry. What Notebook ended up doing is it got the creator of that technology hired at OpenAI. So if you want to get a job in AI, you have to be good at one of two things. Like really good marketing or really good technology. But both matter. Okay, so just to give you a brief idea, background about myself. Started out as a computer engineer in semiconductor industry and in the gaming industry, worked in a few startups. Then I was at Google leading the product strategy team for Google Apps for Work, which is now Google Workspace. So worked on Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Docs, Sheets, Slides. Those are some of the products that we introduced to enterprise. It was a great experience at Google. One of the first features I launched in Gmail was called Smart Compose. So when you start writing, it will complete the sentence for you. That was actually using a very early version of what ended up being the transformer architecture that landed in ChatGPT or the OpenAI commercialized. It's quite sad that that technology actually originated at Google, but OpenAI was the one that made it a reality. This is mainly because Google had billions of users. We had an extreme, sophisticated bureaucratic launch process. It was called Launchpad. And literally we had to go and get approval after approval after approval from UX design, from product management, from legal, and so on. It was just so slow. One of my first projects at Google was to... Did anybody here use Wave? Oh, you guys are all too young. So this was my project back in 2010, 2011. Wave was kind of a very nice way of interacting, changing messaging that included collaboration and people being able to edit things in real time. It ended up being folded into what's today called Google Docs. And you can edit the same content at the same time, multiple people. Like you guys take it for granted, it was groundbreaking technology back 15, 16 years ago. Anyway, so that's a little bit of brief about my background in Silicon Valley. I moved to Dallas about 1.5 years ago, mainly for family reasons. The company I started about 8 years ago is working on safety for autonomous systems. So specifically looking after how do we make sure that those autonomous systems we're developing are actually doing what's intended. I'm heavily involved in multiple standards that guide the development of these things. So in the automotive world, there's a standard called standard of intended functionality. How do you measure that these systems are actually delivering what they are supposed to deliver? And essentially, the AI safety topic, I will talk a little bit more in my presentation. But throughout DeepIn, a lot of our focus has been on autonomy. We work with companies like BMW, Volkswagen, Nissan on driver assistance and autonomous technology that's coming down the line. But ultimately, every launch that we make, like one of the services that we provide to our customers is data labeling. Is anyone here familiar with what data labeling means? Okay, if you guys watched the Silicon Valley show back maybe 8-9 years ago, they had a funny episode where they hired a bunch of Stanford students to go and label images for developing an AI model. Now I actually have a team of people in India that do human labeling of images, but that's for automotive companies. And we think that will gradually disappear, but you will always need some human in the loop to ensure that the AI is not going crazy. So all of that was just background. Let's get to the topic. Okay, so today like I started, things that you hear like the multiple or open claw or all of these agents, there's a lot of noise in the industry. And if you look at the commercial guys, NVIDIA, Sam Altman from OpenAI, they're very bullish. Jensen Huang says nobody needs to know how to code anymore. Sam Altman is, we already know how to build AGI. AGI is artificial general intelligence. Has anybody heard of what's uncontrolled artificial general intelligence is? UAGI. Okay, so there's an institution, it's a business school. They established something called the AI safety clock. An AI safety clock is measuring how close we are to midnight. Midnight is when AI becomes completely uncontrolled. Obviously, the closer we get to midnight, the more exciting AI becomes, but also the closer we get to midnight, it might be our doom. So it is a very concerning but exciting kind of end at that point. And if you look at some of the academics, what they're saying about AI, Jan LeCun, who won a Turing Award because of his contributions, he's saying, with the current LLM technology, we're not even going to get to AGI. And he started a new company recently, he was at Facebook, started a new company looking at how to include multiple sensors and physical understanding in developing new AI models. Tae-Fei Lee, another professor at Stanford, started a new company called World Labs. They're building, I think they call it Marble. It's a world foundation model. So it's not just able to do text, but it's able to understand 3D, it's able to understand images and video, as well as physical interactions to give you something that looks very realistic, but also physically accurate. So if you guys use any of the video generators, I think XAI Grok is one of the most popular now. It is really good. It's so good, it's so believable. And it used to make very stupid mistakes, like having humans with 6 fingers and 8 fingers and like all kinds of physically impossible aspects. That has been improving significantly. But now these world foundation models are going to not only be perception accurate or like give you something that's believable to the eye, but also physically and logically correct in its estimates of how things move and how they move and how they execute things. And there is a huge opportunity for that to use these models to train robots. Because if you think of humanoids and the things that they need to do to manipulate things, like the way we use our hands and our bodies is extremely flexible. The design of the human body or the shape and the capabilities that we're able to do is very complex for robots to repeat. And if you want to repeat, if you want to where the artificial general intelligence is, that can it actually be creative? I don't believe that we're close yet to that level of understanding. AI is really, really good in repeating what it has seen, but it's not capable of human level intellect in the sense of being creative and being able to initiate something that it has not seen before. So that's kind of one of the most important, differentiating noise versus signal in the AI space. And Jeffrey Hinton he was at Google, he left recently, also a Turing Award winner. He said, we have no idea whether we can stay in control. He's basically very pessimistic. However, regardless of, if you're like, what NVIDIA is a multi-trillion-dollar company now telling you that you don't need to code, or you're like on the Jeffrey Hinton side saying, we have no idea what's going on, pause. The benchmarks are actually very positive. The token cost for running AI has decreased significantly, and also the amount of code that is being generated by AI systems, the quality of it has increased a lot. It's not very optimal code, by the way. So if you're a really good software engineer, you still have a chance. But in this world, if you're kind of just average with AI, you can still compete. But there's so much that you can grow in the organization. If you become really, really good at understanding the fundamentals and foundations of how these systems are operating, you have an incredible advantage over others. So I'll come back to this theme in a little bit. So the accuracy of the AI models has also increased. They still hallucinate, and I'll talk a little bit more about that also. But there is a lot of little attention being drawn to some of the most significant results. AlphaFold from Google has been able to predict proteins at very high accuracy, that it's been unprecedented. And those proteins are like, you can cure diseases, you can come up with new ways, nutrients or new foods and so on. So it's incredibly exciting. And it won a Nobel Prize in 2024. That's the AlphaFold system for the team. And if you will hear people saying it's an AI bubble. This is not similar to the .com bubble back in 2000, 2001. I think many of you maybe were not even born back then. That's when the internet was rising and everybody thought pets.com was going to take over the world and become a billion-dollar company. It didn't happen, but many of those companies are now the largest in the world. Google, eBay, Microsoft rode the wave after they made some mistakes and so on. So there's a really, a ton of case studies that you can read about how startups and companies in the .com bubble, how they failed and some of them have bounced back. And it's kind of quite fascinating. The people who enabled that, like people like Mark Andreessen, who was the inventor of the Netscape browser. At the time, Netscape was kind of one of the top companies. It crashed and burned due to the .com bubble. So even though they introduced the first browser, it didn't really survive. But the people who were behind it, like Mark Andreessen, is now the head of A16Z, one of the largest venture capital firms in the world, and I think they just raised another $20 billion to invest mostly in AI. So to come back to the point, lots of spending is happening in the AI space. The VCs are dedicating at least half of their funds to AI, and the sector is increasing. Obviously, you also hear of OpenAI and Anthropic. Their revenues are just rising. And the bigger Facebook, for example, they acquired Scale AI, which was a competitor of DeepIn, my company. They acquired them for $14 billion for half of the company. Also, they acquired Manus. They paid a good, handsome sum for that. And they're still kind of actively looking at this space. So there are a lot of opportunities to, even if you don't commercially succeed, that you can land somewhere in these big firms, the big tech, the fan companies. we still kind of, the leaders in the space, they all disagree. Some of it is just as a show, like Sam Altman is an incredible showman, right? Whenever you see a statement from him, just take it with a kilo of salt. And Elon, same way. Like both Elon Musk and Sam Altman, you will hear things that are sometimes like unrealistic. You just don't think too much about it. Ian Laffoon, on the other hand, or Ilya, do you guys know who Ilya is? Okay, a few of you. So he was the co-founder of OpenAI, and he was more on the technical side. He had the fallout with Sam Altman, and that ended up being Sam Altman being fired, and then coming back to OpenAI. That was kind of a whole deal a while back. But in any case, Ilya, he's saying like we're moving from the age of scaling to the age of research, and Altman is like the exact opposite. No, we're ready to scale. We know how to build AGI. Now the missing link, and we got agents after agents. We have robots, and we're good to go. So extreme opposites of the spectrum. And again, if you just read the press releases, you might be confused. One thing that is important to understand, one, the way AI or LLMs are built, it's very much like the human brain. So things like hallucinations, you're not going to be able to solve that 100%. If you were able to, we're already at AGI. I think it will take a long time for that to happen. The reasoning, how many times have you written something to one of those chatbots and then, no, that's not what I meant, and you go back again, again, and again. It's going to take a while. These like long-term thinking and planning and strategic thinking, it's not very good yet. A lot of the agents in enterprise have been failing miserably. There was an incident with Delta Airlines. I think it gave crazy discounts to people that should not get it, and it caused a huge PR fiasco. And if you look at the humanoids and robots, there's a company in the Valley called Figure AI. They are valued at $55 billion. Their robot can barely carry something across the room in a factory, and I can hire a $15 person to do that. It doesn't make sense to go and buy $1 million robot to solve something that a human with those skills can do. That's economically stupid. And the promise of these humanoids to bring kind of a lot more productivity and efficiency, it will take time for that to happen. So these are the opportunities for you guys. Those problems are good to have because that's something that we humans can do something about. So one thing, and that's what my companies focus on, is safety. For every 1,000 engineers working on AI, there's only one working on AI safety. So that's a field that's really under invested in and could use a lot more, not only attention, but talent to bring it forward. Already talked about the midnight, the AI safety clock, and people are grading AI safety as a D, which is not that great. So some things that are working already, I mentioned AlphaFold, that they're able to predict proteins. They won the Nobel Prize in 2024. Predicting weather, also with AI models, has gotten to almost 97.5% accuracy, which is way, way better than traditional techniques. Material science, like finding new materials, also been incredibly efficient with AI. So those are fields that you guys, if you look at it in your careers, those are fields that have extreme impact in the short term. So you don't have to wait for AGI to happen. Those are things that you can grow into and deliver some results. And code generation obviously has gotten so much better. Actually, I would say code generation, I myself was using Replit, Lovable, all of these vibe coding platforms. Very frustrated in 2024. still frustrated 2025. Something happened February 2026. These models just got so much better in the past couple of weeks. And once you get there, these models can help rewrite themselves, so they're only going to exponentially keep getting better. Code generation, if you're not coding with AI, you're outdated. Like, you seriously need to be using AI for helping you to code. Okay, so I mentioned some of this, biology, science, climate, those are all areas where AI can help. I'm not so sure about prosperity. I think if the right people can drive things. Yeah, if the right people drive things, I think we can get something like universal income and things like that because of the extra productivity increases that we have. But that's a real danger. For the first time in a while, the index for job loss increased tremendously. So I know some of my friends at Google, they were told that they need to lay off at least 40% of their teams. I know Oracle, Amazon, a lot of those companies, you might have heard of Block. Block is Square. They changed their name. They just laid off 40% of their staff. And the 40% that they laid off, 70% of them was engineering. The founder went on Twitter and wrote a big post saying, like, I had to decide, am I going to do this in stages or just do it up front and make sure that we take a very strong decision and live in an AI world instead of waiting. So there will be a lot of pain in this transition. Now, this pain, I don't think it's all negative, because if you look at in the past, when ATMs were introduced, a lot of the bank tellers revolted. They were like, oh, our job was to give money to our customers, and now they have these machines that people can just go to the ATM, get the cash and leave. So while at the beginning it looked very negative, it actually allowed the banks to reduce the cost of opening a branch, and it ended up the banks having more branches, and then they can hire more people. So on a per branch, they hired less people, but they opened more branches, which netted more jobs rather than the loss of jobs. Now, I cannot say, I predict that in AI. I think there will be a lot of turmoil in the next few years, which could be dangerous. But keep an eye on that. Yeah, and AI does help the underdog, especially in corporations. So you have people who are doing average. If they use AI, they can actually compete with the best. And if you're already in the best kind of at the top, AI is not going to help you that much to exceed because you're already kind of there. So you have a lot more room to improve on the average side. Opportunities. Okay. So I mentioned earlier, Feifei Li, Yan LeCun, they started with world models. These are models that understand the real world, understand physics and logic beyond just text and audio of what you see with the LLMs out there. That's a big opportunity, and those world models will drive the learning and the thinking behind physical AI. So think of every field or technology AI is going to touch. The biggest impact will be in things that you have a physical interaction. So agriculture, mining, construction, things like that. Those you need AI systems that can apply the laws of physics in order to be productive. That's an area of growth. AI safety, I mentioned that. It's not getting enough attention. In physical AI, not just like the world models, but also if you think of hardware technology, sensors, and compute, so GPUs, CPUs, and so on. All of those are going to grow. And the biggest pain point across the board of these AI systems is the lack of data. Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, taking one of the interviews, he was saying, we ran out of real data to train AI models. So now we are actually generating synthetic data to just give these models that are data hungry enough data so that you can train them and get better. Those data evaluations, or these data sets, you need to evaluate it, you need to have benchmarks to ensure that the data is right. And I can talk a lot more about data in this context, but just for the interest of time, we'll keep pushing forward. So some concrete fields, in this whole space of physical AI and AI. AI safety is very important, robotics, physical AI, AI infra, including the compute, AI for science, so like materials, climate, weather, then domain expertise across the board. Any domain requires deep expertise, legal, accounting, etc. You can bring AI into those domains and have a lot of opportunity. And then in that data evaluation or validation, anything that you want to put in the real world that can potentially harm humans, you want to have systems in place to ensure that these systems are valid and are working well. Okay, so to wrap up for today, a few kind of key messages to take. Definitely start building it with AI if you haven't. I think everybody here is already doing that, so I don't have to preach. And Andrew Karpathy, who was building the autopilot for FSD at Tesla for some time. If you're not following him, he has a really good kind of, he has a lot of good opinions on this space, and somewhat balanced, like not too flashy like some Altman, or not too pessimistic like some of the academics, but more of a balanced approach. And he says, like, I used to just inspect every line that the AI was changing, and now he got to the point that he trusted to just always accept, and he's developing much faster. So, takeaway, make sure that you use AI safely. Definitely use it, because if you don't, somebody else who knows how to use it better will replace you. And I hope you benefited from the talk. I'm happy to take questions if we have time. Okay, thanks everyone.
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Vaibhav. I used to be an operations member, and now I'm going to be taking over the finance for the next upcoming year. So, quick question. How many of y'all have actually done a hackathon? Oh yeah, I love to see that. More hands, and higher up, higher up. Okay, bet. Okay, incredible. So, y'all are familiar with tracks and how the whole sponsorship just kind of works in some sense to the people that have done it before. But to the people that aren't familiar with it, I'll explain you our little track system we have going on here. We go to the next slide. So we have these beautiful sponsorships. Can we get a round of applause for all of our sponsorships? Thank you! And so, these sponsorships that we have on the screen are either helping us out with our beautiful event we have at ECSW, or they do have a sponsored track, and that we'll be presenting right now. Going into our first sponsored track is IEE, UTD, and Texas Instruments. Can we get a round of applause?
for IEEE UTD.
My name is Ugana, and I'm the Director of Initiatives for IEEE UTD.
So today we're going to be presenting the IEEE Texas Instruments track, which is a hardware track focused on integrating AI into the hardware. So what we want to see is a creative way to kind of bring AI off the screen, take AI off the screen and bring it into the real world. I want to see how you can kind of transform your environment with AI.
So you might be thinking like, I don't really know if I can use hardware. I've never messed around with hardware, but don't worry, we got you. We'll be having a hardware workshop later today at 3:30 p.m., right? And so you can just get in, it's gonna be a guided workshop, and so you can learn how to integrate AI into hardware applications.
Yeah, so I hope to see you there. And for our prize, we're going to be having some Polaroid bundles. That interests you. So yeah, I hope to see what you guys make.
And introducing our next sponsor track, Nebula. Please give a round of applause.
Hi, y'all. Y'all looking a little sleepy this morning. How many of y'all got a Red Bull? No? All right, y'all need to work on that. First off, I want to thank AIS for having us. My name is Tyler Hill. I'm the president of Nebula Labs, and we are an interdisciplinary organization at UT Dallas that builds free and open source software for students at UT Dallas. So we're composed of designers, engineers, product managers, marketing specialists, and we make tools you probably use. If you've used UTD Trends, which shows you aggregated grade and rate by professor data, that's us. We make UTD Rooms, which shows you free and open rooms to find like a study spot on campus. We just launched UTD Clubs, which is an organization directory with over 90% of the student orgs on it already. And we also make the Nebula API, which you'll hear a little bit about today. How many of y'all have used one of those projects? Warms my heart, thank you guys. So that's what Nebula Labs is, and I'll hand it over to my vice president to talk about our track.
Hey everyone, I'm Abhiram. I'm the vice president of Nebula Labs, and our track this year is to hit the street and make something that runs the block at UTD. So Tyler mentioned some of our projects. They all use the Nebula API, and what we're asking y'all is to build more projects just like that. We have real course information, professor information, room scheduling stuff, things like that. And you have all the data right available for you with our Nebula API, and you also have a bunch of raw data. So build an AI application that improves student outcomes, student life, or something in the space of the university.
Yeah, I'll add to that, we've got even more sources. I think we scraped 10 different websites now, so scroll through, see what you're interested in, maybe something on our API sparks an idea. But our prizes, for first place, we have one of those nice JBL speakers. In second place, we have a nice Anchor power bank. So yeah, that's our track. Thank you guys.
And going into our next track, we have our friends over at Dallas AI.
Guys, love the energy here. I know all of you will be doing some cool stuff later on. About our buddy with Dallas AI, thanks to Almiz, Zaina, Omar, and the other 11 officers for this opportunity. We are super excited. If you have not heard of Dallas AI, we are a nonprofit. We call ourselves the Switzerland of AI education because we are not aligned with anybody. We just do free events for anyone, help with learning them about how AI is being used and with networking. And the one question that we get all the time from our over 10,000 community members, how do I learn about AI? How do I get better? But the challenge is they're professionals, they don't have much time. So they only have a few minutes a day. They want to learn. They don't want to learn the generic stuff. They want to learn the most useful things that apply to them. So the challenge is figure out what data you need about these people, how to help them make the most of their time and learn. And you know, this is an interesting challenge that even will help other students as they are getting in the field. So thank you very much, and I look forward to your work.
Going into our next track, we have our friends at Riddler Institute.
Thank you for having me. My name is Mark, and I represent an organization called LEAK. What we do is we host a summer lab where we get together some students who paper trade a stock portfolio using quantitative finance methods. Just out of curiosity, who here is familiar with quantitative finance? Okay, a couple people, 3 people. Well, what quantitative finance is, huge misconception. If you want to get into quantitative finance, you actually don't need any quantitative finance, finance expertise. What specifically quant finance looks for is strong problem-solving ability. So I'm talking about ability in math, physics, all of quant finance. I was fortunate enough to know an analyst who worked at a top company, and they had so much money that they rented a helicopter. And every day they take this helicopter and they fly it over this oil field. And this oil field would have all these tanks filled to the brim with oil. And they take the oil out, they'd siphon the oil out, and they would sell it. The thing was, they had these caps on the oil, and every time they sold the oil, the caps would go down, so they could track exactly how much the company was selling. They use this to find an extreme edge in the market and make a ton of money. What quant finance actually is finding obscure connections, like the height of a oil tank. It's capped to strike price on a stock, or helicopters to stock prices, or weather to how much fluid will expand, how much that will affect the speed that liquid can travel through a pipe. We love anyone who has the ability to make obscure connections, and we'd love to talk to any other graduates who are interested in work like this. As for our problem track, our problem track is in natural language processing, specifically anything in natural language processing. If you can find any connection between text and any real-world event or phenomena, whether it be market data or something more specific, like the amount of people that joined HackAI, if you can find any connection, we'd love to hear about it. As for our prizes, for second place, we have the Anchor Power Bank. And for first place, we have School Candy Method 360 earbuds. Very nice noise cancellation. And we encourage all of you to do well this weekend and make some fun projects.
Going to our next partner, they recently just IPO'd. Welcome Figma to the stage.
Howdy everyone. Who here knows what Figma is? Awesome, many of you. So yeah, my name is Sumit. I'm a senior computer engineering student at Texas A&M University. I'm representing Figma at Texas A&M, as well as Figma for EDU this weekend. Our track is to develop a project incorporating the best use of Figma and your overall UX process. We're not exactly looking to see just the best and most beautiful designs, but we want to see how well you use Figma in your overall process over the weekend. And we want to really just judge your UX thinking and your UI design process rather than just the design at the end of the day. So a couple things that we might look for is how do you use Figma in your ideation phase, in your prototyping, in your wireframing, and then in your final design. We have a few different prizes that we're going to be giving out this weekend, including, I believe it's a couple different shirts, some other Figma branded merch, I believe some chargers, and as well as some pendants. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to come up to me during the event or to reach us on Discord in our channel. But other than that, I'm really excited to see what you guys create, and yeah, I think it's going to be a fun weekend, and excited to see all of you here.
And one of our other partners, we have Nerve onto the stage. Thank you.
All right, so how much time do I have? 2 minutes? Okay, first off, I've had way too much coffee and too little sleep, so I don't know if you guys fall in that same category. But we're Nerve, we're a mental health nonprofit. So our prompt, which you're going to be building, is a peer-to-peer learning app. So what we're looking for is individuals that, just imagine if you're learning new skills, like it was a daily mission in a game. So we're inviting you to, design that peer-to-peer learning app. It develops varying skills while having fun doing it. So a couple of examples of what to think about, right? So we've been exploring this concept. We're actually at an MVP stage as a company right now. But we've been curious about online learning right now is just one-on-one solo journeys. But what would peer-to-peer look like, right? Some examples could be maybe an individual's on a solo journey, but throughout the life cycle, they're maybe finding group lessons. Think like Mario Party or something like that. Or a user could be journeying through lessons with a buddy the entire time, a buddy system. Or think like game lobby like Fortnite or an online game where throughout the entire lesson, every lesson 1 for you is totally with random strangers, lesson 2 is with totally random strangers, etc., etc. So prizes, all that good stuff. We're a startup, guys. These prizes are not great, but we're looking for passionate people, right? We're looking for people that want to build, have a great time. But if you're about the prizes, our track aligns with the big 4 of the other tracks as well. So I guess you have a shot at winning some other prizes as well. But last thing I will say is this is more for me. Can I get everybody to stand up real quick? Everybody just stand up for me. Everybody just get up real quick. Just stand up. Like, I'm tired. I need this more than you do. Everybody just like shake it out. Like, just shake your legs, shake your hands, just shake it out a little bit. Come on, don't be weird. Shake it out. Just get a little bit out of you. There we go. Yes, thank you. Because I'm half asleep. Thank you. Awesome. Well, this is Nerve, guys. Have an amazing time. Hack your butts off. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And then going on to the ones that we have created ourselves, that is created by the AIS teams, we have our AIS mini tracks. Okay, can I get a raise of hands who've actually never done a hackathon, or this being your first hackathon? Oh yeah, okay, I love to see that. So this is for you. If you don't feel like you have the best chance at maybe the generalization track of the other ones, or maybe the other sponsor tracks, this is kind of where you can win over here. But we do need to see that at least 75% of you and your team, this is your first hackathon, but this is what we have for our beginner prize track. And then, who likes going solo? I know there's no I in team, but who likes being solo? Yeah, I see you over there, I see you, okay. And so that's what we have for our solo project. If you want to win a little mini projector for your home, you can ride it by yourself, or watch it by yourself. But that's for the solo track, so that's for our winners for the solo track.
Can we get everyone's attention, please? Thank you.
You can, for the pitch competition, this is kind of one of my favorite ideas that we came up with. How many business students do we have in here? I just need a little quick raise of hands. Raise them higher. Why are you embarrassed? Raise them higher. Thank you. So as a business kid myself, I'm actually did HackAI last year, and that was kind of what I was going for, more of an idea-based project that would kind of look more beautiful. So that's kind of what we have here. So the process starts up with a sign-up form that we're sending out tonight at 11 p.m. for the teams that are interested. And then we have, after the main judging rounds, a group of finalists will be selected to present their ideas and take the stage for who thinks is the best idea. And the showdown, selected teams will get the best pitch, and the beautiful prize is an anchor speaker, so you get that nice, loud music. And then, for one of our last generalized tracks, can I get a raise of hands who's like computer science, engineering, works with data science, ML? See, majority of y'all. So that's what we have for one of our last tracks, is our data science and machine learning track. So if you think you can kind of integrate any machine learning or data science tracks, this one's more built for you, and we have a beautiful keyboard over there. And then, the big juicy tracks. General tracks, yeah, can I get a loud, can I get a big woo? Yeah! Okay, so for our generalized tracks, we have build something that really makes a mark. Like, who wants to build something that'll last till tomorrow? Raise your hand, I need something that'll last till tomorrow. Yeah, okay, why are you so low on that? Okay, anyway. So for the people that actually did raise your hand, this is your track. If you want to win the big bulk prizes, a monitor, AirPods, iPad, all of those, this is the track you want to be looking for. So thank y'all for your time, and those are our tracks. And when we're going into submission, this is the big, I need all of y'all to listen to this. As someone who did the hackathon last year, this is kind of what I messed up on. Make sure by 11 p.m. tonight, you have your dev post done, and that means your tracks are decided and you know what you're going to do. For when it goes to how many tracks you're allowed to do, you're allowed to do up to 2 sponsored tracks and as many generalized tracks as you want. Is that correct? And that is when it goes for submission-wise. If there are any questions, go ahead and ask us in the Discord. If you see any AIS officer member in one of the shirts or quarter zipper sweater, that one of the ones in the shirts are the officers, the ones in the quarter zipper sweaters are directors, so they can help you out with that.
All right, and now once again, I just want to firstly reiterate what Bob just said about the dev post. That needs to be submitted at 11 p.m. tonight. That's not your final code submission. That's just you putting in the details of your team name, your project, your people in there, and selecting your tracks. You cannot select your tracks after that point, and you can't edit them after that point. So those need to be selected by 11 p.m. tonight. And then once you want to submit your code, you can edit it, put your code in, put all the other details and stuff like that. So just, that needs to be done, or else you will not be able to present tomorrow. So talking about judging is going to be happening from 1 to 2:30 p.m. tomorrow, which or on Sunday, not tomorrow. And it's going to be mainly in ECS South. Now, one important thing is you have to be on campus and you have to be in your designated spot when judging is happening. Basically, once you do your DevCo submission and everything is done on time, correctly submitted, all the teams will be given a list of their team name and a location, as well as a map mapping that location to where the specific team will be. You need to make sure that you are in that spot right before judging starts and ready to present to the judges. That is non-negotiable. You guys have to be there. It can be virtual, it can be online. You guys got to be there. Yep. All right, I'm passing it off to the folks at Red Bull.
Hi everybody, my name is Ella. This is Lily. We're both student marketeers with Red Bull. We just wanted to talk a little bit about Red Bull Basement. So Red Bull Basement is Red Bull's global brand project this semester. How it works is you submit an application with an idea that you have. So it can be like a business idea or just an idea that you think would make an impact on the world. And so applications are open now until March 29th. You can submit as many applications as you want. So how it works is you formulate your idea into a sentence, and then you can use the AI to help brainstorm your idea. And then you find the best match for it and then submit it. So you can work in a pair or by yourself. It can be anything. It can be a business potential, something that's unique. And there's no limit to the amount of applications that you can submit. I'm sure y'all are going to come up with a lot of great ideas this weekend. This is a great opportunity for y'all. The global final will be in Silicon Valley. It'll be super fun. We have a booth over in the ECSW building, so come grab a can and submit an application for Red Bull Basement. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Maitri. I'm the Vice President of Artificial Intelligence Society. Right after this at 11:30, which is in 2 minutes, we will have a team building workshop for those people who don't want to do things solo, so please come to that if you want to. We do have a couple of workshops that are happening throughout the day. We have one from REEC, one from MLH, one from one from AI Academy, which is one of our branches here at AIS. If you come to those workshops, we do have raffle tickets to raffle off the certain items, and then we also have in blue, we have some opportunities for help. At 5:30, we have a networking opportunity with the industry and industry people and the judges. It will be upstairs in the second floor at the ECSW Bird's Nest, and once again, if you do come, you get a raffle ticket, chance to win a raffle. Once again, please make sure to submit the dev post by 11, and at 9:30 we'll have a workshop for that. So please show up if you are interested. We do have an AIS help desk. Please come to the AIS help desk. It will be at the ECSW atrium. We can provide mentorship if needed. Please also join the Discord if you haven't already. All notifications will be done through the Discord. In our bait box, there is a hacker pack that will be in the next QR code. And then also, once again, at 5:30, please do show up if you want a networking opportunity or possible mentorship. And now on to MLH.
Hey everyone, my name is Jocelyn and I'm here in Park from MLH. So I'm basically going to lay out all the different prices and workshops that we have prepared for you this weekend. But first things first, if you haven't met me at the MLH table, there's still a chance for you to meet me at the MLH table. I have plenty of stickers and stuff for you for free. So my name is Jocelyn, I'm based in Mexico. I study robotics, which is a really cool thing. And I'm also here as part of your MLH coach, but I also did the MLH fellowship, so if you have questions about that, feel free to reach out. Everything that you need to know about HackAI and MLH, you can find find it on this link. I've been sending out this link on the Discord on the Ask MLH channel. In there, you will be able to find all the different opt-ins and their corresponding prices with the specific links. All of these, you can also find it at the MLH table on different postcards. And then if you want to connect with other hackers from the MLH community and different hackathons, feel free to join this Discord. I'll also be sending these at the end of the event. Right, so from here, who has heard about MLH before me? Raise your hands. Okay, I think almost the half of the room knows what MLH is. If you haven't heard about MLH, we are basically a global organization around the world, and we help support hackathons just as HackAI in different parts of the world. Just right now, we're over 1 million hackers, and just by being in this room, you are basically contributing to this big number over here. Right, so let's get into what are we going to be doing this weekend. So getting started with the Hacking with GitHub Copilot workshop, we're going to be learning how to use the GitHub MCP and the MyMLH MCP server in order to build a README profile for your GitHub. This is going to happen at 2:30 p.m. I'm going to be giving MLH t-shirts as well. You can register in there. I'm also going to be sending these QR code later on our Discord. And then right after that one, we're going to be having the experiment with Google AI Studio. There's also going to be holographic Gemini stickers and more MLH season Ds that are sponsored by Google Cloud. This is going to happen 30 minutes after the Copilot one. You can also check in here, and I'll also be sending this link over the Discord. Right, these are the season Ds, so make sure that you get one while supplies last, because there's not enough of t-shirts for everyone, so make sure that you get early on that workshop so you can grab your t-shirt. Right, so now let's dive into the different prices and the different opt-ins that we have for you this weekend. So first of all, we have a really cool tool called MLH Hardware Lab presented by DigiKey. If you visit me at the MLH table, you will notice that there's two big crates in there. You're able to borrow hardware from us, such as Raspberry Pis, Arduinos, cameras, multiple sensors, and motor controllers. If you want to build something related to hardware, you can also ask me directly. Remember that this is only for you to borrow, and you are not allowed to grab anything if I'm not on the table. So make sure that you approach me at the table so you can get your hardware. Right, and then we have the best use of Gemini API. So if you build something with the Gemini API, it could be text generation, it could be using the vector embeddings model, image generation model, video generation. Anything that you do that's on the Gemini docs page, that will be considered for best use of Gemini API. And we're also featuring the best use of Google Anti-Gravity. So if you heard about a recent news launching this weekend, there's this new ID tool from Google called Anti-Gravity. So if you use Anti-Gravity and you post a picture on the dev post and tell us how you use that code environment, you are already being considered for best use of Google Anti-Gravity. So two opt-in prices for this one. Then we have the best use of MongoDB Atlas. So if you are looking for a database to use in your project, make sure that you use MongoDB, especially for vector databases. That's also really cool. Coming up next, we have the best use of ElevenLabs. If you're planning to build an AI agent that can speak for music generation or voice generation, then ElevenLabs is your go-to tool. You should have received an email for you to claim 3 months for free for the freedom plan, so you can have extra credits and extra features on ElevenLabs. Then we also have the best use of Solana. So if you want to build with Web3 and decentralized apps, Solana is for you. And finally, we have the best use of Presage. So if you want to measure metrics from a user or a person, such as their vitals, you can use Presage using computer vision as well. Alright, if you need to see those again, feel free to go on the dev post in there so you can see all the different details and all the different sponsored prices as well. And just by being present on Sunday, I will be handing out special iDemo stickers for participants by completing and demoing the projects to judges while I judge your project. So please come tomorrow to judging day. Alright, so I'm just going to do a super quick demo because I know we're a bit short on time on Google Anti-Gravity, which is the tool, I'm going to make this bigger, which is a tool that we are featuring and that you can also win, that is as simple as this. So in here, I already have a pre-coded prompt. I'm just going to paste it in here so it starts building. And before, if you've been to other MLH hackathons, you will have realized that we usually use VS Code and we use root code extensions to create like these tools. But now I'm actually featuring Google Anti-Gravity. And if you realize, this is very similar UI as VS Code. So there's no limit for you to get used to it and start coding super fast. In here, I just asked to create a simple chat app that features a bee style because I like Minecraft bees. And then I asked it to use Flask from Python so I can create my own API. And then I also asked it to use a Gemini Flash model. I think I asked it to use a Gemini tree Flash model somewhere in here. And then finally to use my ngrok specific slug in order for you to be able to use it as well. So right now I have these on my skills.md right now file in here, but you're able to just like copy paste this prompt directly into the chatbot. And if you're seeing here, I'm using Gemini 3.1 Pro, which is the latest model. And I've also selected the planning mode, which means that it will first plan all of the different tasks, and it will then start, creating everything. Another important thing to know is that Google is giving 1 year free for students. So if you are a student and you have an educational email, don't wait to claim that plan. Honestly, it's a lifesaver for homework because it allows you to upload like PDFs and all of the different images without any rate limit. And you also get other pro features as well, like 2 terabytes of storage on your Google Workspace. So if you want to storage like your Google Photos and so on, make sure that you claim the AI Studio tool. Right, I'm just going to run these. And then also during the workshop, we're going to be featuring the Google AI Studio, which is another experimental platform featuring Gemini models as well. I think right now it's installing all the necessary dependencies, such as Google Generative AI, Flask, and also creating a Python.env environment. It's taking quite a while, but after installing all these, it should be straightforward. Okay, I think it's running in there. Oh, also another cool thing, so I just downloaded this yesterday, so I'm also pretty new to anti-gravity. I'm not sure if I will use it as my default IDE, because I mostly use like MATLAB and all of those. Not very pretty UI looking IDEs for robotics, but this one definitely looks very appealing. And they also have different things where you can configure your own AI agents for specific folders. So if you have, I don't know, a project for these hackathons, you can configure like your own AI agent for that, and you can just create them in here. To be honest, I'm not very familiar with that, but I'm pretty sure that we will get to learn more about that. Right, so I'm just gonna run now the application, and I believe I'm just gonna go directly to running it on localhost once it starts running on Python, Flask. Okay, so this is asking for the ngrok, so it should be there now. So let me go ahead and see if I can open this. Okay, let me open this on my terminal. Okay. Let's open this super fast and check it out. So this was super fast to create. I'm just gonna type here and here. I mean, it's just a simple chat app that you can build in just like 3 minutes. But instead of going into your Gemini application and copy pasting the code, you can do it just directly in Google Anti-Gravity in here. All right. So to wrap up. Alright, so now moving on to a more serious note. By being at this event, HackAI this weekend, you are abiding and accepting the alleged code of conduct. If you didn't have a chance to read it, please go ahead and access it and make sure that you agree on everything that's in there, because we do not tolerate any sort or type of harassment at our events. If you ever encounter anything that happens throughout the event, don't hesitate to reach out to me or any of the organizers. You have their contact emails, and also you can either call these direct phone line or reach out to me on the acknowledge table. Thanks again to all of our partners, and I'll leave you now with organizers. Thank you.
Now about meal times. Once again, after this, we're not.
Hey guys, just make sure you're staying in the room for the rest of the opening ceremony. We're almost done, and just keep the side conversations to a minimum. We don't want to be talking over the people that are coming up here. So we're almost done, I promise. Just a couple more slides, a couple more important information. Please be patient. Thank you.
Once again, after this is not lunch, but you have team building workshop. It's still at the same place. It'll be until 1:30. 1:30 is lunch. But for meal times, you'll enter the same way that you came in for check-in. You'll enter through those doors, and then where the sponsor fair was, that's where lunch will be. This is how it'll look like. It will be So make sure, once again, to follow the MLH Code of Conduct. Please join the Discord. I can't stress this enough. It's the way that we do all of our announcements. If you have any other concerns, please reach out to an officer or director.
And if we make any changes to the schedule or any changes to our dev post or any sort of changes to the entire event, they will be put on Discord and you are expected to see them. We are not responsible for any lost communication that you don't get because you're not in the Discord. So the Discord is on your badges. Make sure you join using that QR code.
If not, find an officer and we'll get you on the Discord. Discord link is right here. Pink bucks is over here. These are your two things that you definitely need for this weekend, so I highly suggest you take a picture of this if not scan it right now. All the tracks are also in pink box. Could I get everyone's attention for like 30 more seconds? Once again, after this, it's the team building social. Let the hacking begin, but before y'all leave, we have officers that will guide you out just because it's a big thank you so much.
And if you guys missed the links earlier, we will also be putting them in Discord, which you should be able to access through your badges. So do not forget that. Be prepared for heavy rain, guys. It is storming, and we're so grateful that you guys decided to come out through the storm. But yeah, we'll have our officers dismiss you guys, so just be patient.
And more importantly, have fun.
Sam, what's up? I did, bro. I'm outside the rat race.